Can you believe that 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross has been around for 4 years now? At least, the JPKR version has anyway. And while I think it's a pretty good game, I also think there are some changes that could be made to make it even better. Or at least to save my sanity. So today, we're going to talk about 5 changes that I would like to see the game make in the next year. We'll go over the idea itself, why I think it's a good idea, and how it could ultimately help the game as a whole. I've sat on these for a while, so I've had some time to think about it. As always, there's a caveat or two to this list. I produce these videos well in advance, so I actually had to make some changes to this script due to the anniversary and the updates that were made. But I think these changes are still relevant, and who knows how long they're going to be relevant. Hopefully not for long, but let's be real. With that said, let's just go ahead and dive in. Number 5. Buff or revamp entirely the patrol rewards. It's been a long time since these rewards have been retooled. And honestly, I'm at the point where I don't even bother clearing out my patrol rewards unless I need to clear a Hawk Pass mission like collect SSR gear or whatever. The time rewards are a joke at this point as well. I mean, 152k gold? Who cares? 12 enhancement stones? Are you kidding me? It's just, why, man? Why? I think that they could rework this entirely and make them all into rewards that people need. Maybe make the time reward have something like SSR pendants if you let it build. Buff the gold reward, of course, and change up what the gear is. The SSR crit damage pieces were honestly a good addition, but no one is building that many crit pieces. It can absolutely be switched up. So, here's my idea of what to add to the pool. This could increase engagement in general and make Patrol useful to new and old players alike. SSR pendants. With UR pendants now being the hot commodity, having SSR pendants in rewards like Patrol would help keep players like me from hoarding them like the gremlins that we are. I'm afraid to use them because what if I need them later on? Relic cubes. Not the specific beast materials, but the cubes like for demons or fairies or whatnot. They could keep the output pretty low, but it's fine. Super Awakening coins. If they gave us like 1, that would already be better than the current pool. There's so much more that they could do to this pool. They just need to make this way more useful than it is right now, because these rewards, ugh. Number 4. Add catastrophes and Ragnarok to a general pool. Please note the use of the word a instead of the. Catastrophes and Ragnarok units have already been fairly limited. However, in addition to those limited units, we also have Fest Limited and Holiday Limited. I think it's time to just not have them be so limited. Of course, that then leads to another problem. See, a part of what I like about Grand Cross is that the draw pools generally aren't super diluted. Sure, the general pool banner is, and adding Ragnarok and Catastrophes will only serve to dilute it even more. But then again, that might help in terms of balance. And look, we always complain about how diluted the festival banners are. I mean, the Bond one had like 25 featured units, but that's still way better than other games which will just throw all of the available units on there. It could be a lot worse, unfortunately. But the thing is, Netmarble probably had these units be more limited in order to get money out of people, so they'd pay and pull when they do show up on banners. And I get that, it's a business. But some of them either haven't been on banners in a while or, in the case of older Catastrophe units, are so outdated that we don't want them to be on main banners. The box CC and collectors. And some of those older units are genuinely fun. My solution is to add them to the regular pool. This can be done in one of 2 ways. They can either be put in the general pool or get their own OC general banner. There are pros and cons to both of these. For the general pool, it keeps Netmarble from having to make yet another banner, thereby clogging up their draw page. It streamlines stuff and gives you one central place, and keeps players from being confused. Cons are, well, that pool becomes even more diluted. Good luck getting even one of those units from those banners. But on the other hand, there's a chance, especially with your daily free pull. And that's a little exciting, isn't it? If they made their own banner for them, well, basically flip around what I said. But another con is that people might not pull on it after a bit. It might seem like a useless banner to have. It's like how no one really cared about the SSR Part 1 banner after a while, so Netmarble had to pull the SSR ticket banners together. I don't know what the best solution is, but I do think it would be beneficial to have them in the general draw pool at this point. There are still plenty of seasonal bait units for them to toss in, and damn it, I want to 6/6 some of my older catastrophes. Number 3. Expand King's Exchange. So I have a tradition. Whenever an event or a festival rolls around and King gets his expanded exchange shop, I roll up with all my useless materials, like my wheelbarrow full of R pendants, and shove them at him to trade them for things I'll actually use. Look, most of my units are level 80. Honestly, all of my units are at level 80. I do not need red demon horns. And yet, I keep getting them, and they keep filling up my inventory. Same with the R and SR pendants. I don't need that many, but here we are. I'd love for King's expanded exchange to be more of a regular thing. Not everything, of course, but I think they could implement most of it with weekly limits and still manage to keep things balanced. This is such a weird thing because I feel like it's here a lot starting with the summer festival. But after the Mayal festival ended, we didn't get it back until the Mushoten collab, and let me tell you, between the beginning of March when I hit the limits on the previous exchange and May, I piled up so much trash. Save me, please. I'm begging you.
Just sell the excess.
No. Number 2. Fusible level 90 tokens. This token exists. We've gotten it for rewards a couple times during festivals, and it made sense for it to be rare when level 90 was the highest at the time. However, we now have level 100, and that alone is really, really expensive. When you use tokens, however, they don't cost anything, and that's awesome. Another point I was going to make was that it's a pain in the ass to take your character from 60 to 90 on their own. Or at least it was. Thankfully, with the 4th anniversary update, Netmarble has made it so you can instantly go from 60 to 100 if you have the resources. This is a great change, and a step in the right direction. But let's go a step further. I would love to be able to just fuse these tokens at Merlin. Toss in all those horns and ears and wings that I was complaining about a few points ago, let her take the pendants as well, and voila! The Token of Champions! This would need some thought though. I mean, we have to keep in mind that SSR pendants are used to fuse UR pendants. You can't get them normally outside of events otherwise. This means if you dump all your SSR pendants into a token like that, and with an auto-select, you could, then you would be a little boned. It's something that would require testing and balance on Netmarble's part, but I believe it is doable. I would even settle for an item to take a character up to level 80. I just picked 90 because we've seen the token in the past in events and whatnot, but being able to sit through less of this shit, that's worth its weight in gold. As in, the gold I'd save. And number 1, first time demonic beast battle rewards. It's time for Netmarble to let us get first time rewards for all of the demonic beasts. These battles were originally introduced in the summer of 2021. When the deer came out, the first time system was introduced. At the time, there weren't as many relics, and honestly, the beasts were difficult. It was Netmarble's way of making you focus, while also keeping the relics from being too prolific. And then, later on, yes, to make you buy the packs, but details. But now, we have 4 demonic beast battles, and we will likely get another one at some point. It's time Netmarble loosened up and let it rip. As a casual player, I've been working on the dog relics, but honestly, I would like to start picking away at snake stuff. But on the other hand, I don't want to go back to the first level loop while trying to grind out Freya's relic if it means I can't get those boosted rewards for the dog or any other beast where I don't have certain relics and I know I can clear all 3 stages. If we were allowed first time rewards from multiple beasts, I'd give Nidhogg a shot and then maybe do a couple of levels in Skull and Hati. Yes, it would increase the number of relics people would make. However, keep in mind that relics were introduced prior to Dark and Light units, the same units that are currently dominating PvP. I can't see people getting more access to relics really hurting the balance of the game in that respect. If anything, it would give players more to play with. And I mean, look, the worst PvP relic is Nanashi's, and Netmarble basically gave that out for free, so... And just do it, my dudes. I would even be okay with them only allowing the reward you get for attempting the beast for one of the bosses. You know, just that singular material. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Making that available for all might be a little much, but the rest, come on, please. If we can finish the level, we deserve the first time rewards. And my honorable mention, Super Awakening items. So what if they made an item that super awakened your character to the max, just like the max awakening pendants? I like this idea, but it needs a lot more thought and time and consideration before I'd even go for it being a reality. And keep in mind that, as per my other video, Netmarble went through hell and back trying to figure out how to properly balance Super Awakening to begin with. Would a pendant like this work the same on a character that's 2/6 as one that's 6/6? Yeah, that's a tricky call. Maybe there could be a way to fuse, I don't know, the coins themselves. That might be the good balance. But, like I said, I really don't know, and that's why it's the honorable mention. And that's my list. What would make it on your list? Let me know in the comments below.